Since the discovery of 3I Atlas on July 1st this year, the world's most advanced optical telescopes have almost all turned their gaze toward this mysterious interstellar visitor. From the continuous flow of observational data, scientists have identified a number of anomalous features on Atlas. In addition to its unusual orbit, which we discussed last time, with its orbital plane being less than 5 degrees off from the ecliptic, its size has also become a puzzle. From August 8th to 12th, NASA's SPHERX space telescope observed Atlas at a wavelength of 1 micron. Based on its brightness, they estimated its diameter to be an astonishing 46 kilometers. This implies its mass could be 1,000,000 times greater than that of interstellar comet 2I Borisov. This mass discrepancy is startling. Based on models of heavy element reserves in interstellar space, we should have discovered 1,000,000 Borisov-sized interstellar objects before finding one the size of Atlas. Furthermore, this 46 kilometers figure sharply contradicts previous Hubble observations, which suggested a diameter of only 5.6 kilometers. To resolve this contradiction, the SPHERX team explained that 99% of the light emitted by Atlas doesn't come from its nucleus, but from light scattered by dust particles in the coma. So, the actual core might not be that big, it's just enveloped by a massive cloud of material. Additionally, they found Atlas lacks a distinct hydrocarbon tail. The main components of its coma are 87% carbon dioxide, 9% carbon monoxide, and only 4% water vapor, with traces of cyanide compounds. On August 6th, the James Webb Space Telescope also observed Atlas. The data matched SPHERX's findings. Atlas is enveloped in a carbon dioxide-rich coma with low water and CO content. The high carbon-to-water ratio is puzzling. Only one known comet, C2016R2, has shown a similar extreme composition, but that comet had a clear tail. Atlas does not, or hasn't shown one yet. Avileb, combining observations from James Webb and SPHERX, suggests that if Atlas's nucleus is indeed smaller, as SPHERX believes, its brightness would require a massive dust coma to reflect sunlight. Normally, solar radiation pressure would push this dust into a distinct tail, yet no tail was observed at the time. Instead, a curious feature emerged. Atlas has an anti-tail. Unlike regular comet tails that point away from the sun, this light-scattering tail extends toward the sun. Such a phenomenon is extremely rare and, as far as we know, unprecedented in solar system comets. A paper based on observations from the Subaru telescope, one of the most powerful optical near-infrared telescopes, was published on ArcSiv. It reported the unexpected detection of nickel, but no iron, in Atlas's coma. We know that natural comets usually contain both nickel and iron, as both are co-produced and ejected during supernova events. But Atlas's coma showed only nickel, a highly unusual composition. Moreover, at such a far distance from the sun, Atlas's surface should be extremely cold, not warm enough to sublimate metals. Yet metallic elements were detected. The authors proposed that Atlas's coma may contain an organometallic compound known as tetracarbonyl nickel, which has a very low sublimation temperature. It could vaporize from the ice even in cold environments, then photodissociate under solar UV light, releasing nickel atoms and carbon monoxide. This mechanism is extremely rare in comets. So, this adds to speculation that Atlas might be a manufactured object. Imagine if a non-human intelligence created metal structures. They might leave behind nickel-rich waste, perhaps from repairs or radiation shielding. Still, we'd expect to see both nickel and iron, not nickel, without iron, which is deeply suspicious. If iron continues to remain undetected, it could imply Atlas is made of an artificial nickel-based alloy, and that some form of propulsion heating is ejecting this material. On August 27th, the Gemini South Telescope in Chile finally captured a faint teardrop-shaped tail pointing away from the sun. At that time, Atlas was 2.59 astronomical units from Earth. In early September, Avileb and colleagues published a paper introducing a Loeb scale, a classification system from 0 to 11 to categorize interstellar objects by their likelihood of being artificial. For instance, level 0 equals normal natural object. Level 4 equals high anomaly. Artificial origin must be seriously considered. Levels 5 to 7 equals suspected passive or active alien tech. Levels 8 to 10 equals confirmed alien technology. Atlas was rated level 4, same as Oumuamua. Borisov was rated 0. While people around the world were admiring a rare blood moon, Atlas changed color. It turned green. Back in July and August, all telescopes observed Atlas as red. But on September 7th, a photo showed its halo had turned green. Green comets are usually caused by diatomic carbon, C, absorbing UV and emitting green light. However, all previous data shows Atlas lacks such carbon chain molecules, making this red to green transformation a mystery. Some astronomers speculate the color change is due to a sudden increase in cyanides. A research team reported 18 polarimetric observations using the Subaru and 2 other telescopes. At a phase angle of 6.41 degrees, Atlas showed extremely deep and narrow negative polarization. What is polarization? Natural light vibrates chaotically. When scattered by an object, the light may become aligned polarized. Negative polarization means the light component perpendicular to the scattering plane is weakened, while the parallel component is strengthened. The team theorized that Atlas' coma might be composed of giant fluffy particles made of ice mixed with dark matter. Regardless, this level of extreme negative polarization has never been observed before, making Atlas the first known object to exhibit such a trait. On September 24th, Avileb published another article stating that Atlas's non-gravitational acceleration is less than 15 meters per day. James Webb's data shows no apparent rocket effect, like gas outgassing causing thrust, suggesting Atlas's mass exceeds 33 billion tons. Given this, its core diameter should be over 5 kilometers, compared to Oumuamua, approximately 100 meters, or Borisov, approximately 500 meters. Considering the rarity of heavy elements in space, statistically we should have found approximately 100,000 Oumuamua-sized objects before discovering one like Atlas. We didn't. So, Atlas's size is a major anomaly. On October 3rd, when Atlas was just 30 million km from Mars, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, HIRIC, had a chance to capture the highest resolution image ever, 30 kilometers per pixel. But unexpectedly, NASA went silent. On that day, the U.S. government went into shutdown, and NASA's website stopped updating. However, on October 4th, someone found a peculiar image in the Perseverance rover's photo archive. It showed a glowing cylinder. Was this Atlas? NASA didn't explain, only stating that it was taken by Perseverance's front right navigation camera and named it Best Photo of the Week. Most people believe it was Atlas, and if so, the cylindrical shape is ... evocative. Could it really be an alien spacecraft? Alternatively, it could be a stacked exposure artifact. Mars moves at 24 kilometers per second, and Atlas at 67 kilometers per second in the opposite direction. With a camera exposure time of 3.28 seconds, Atlas would smear across the frame by approximately 300 kilometers, forming a glowing cylinder when stacked. Still, as of this writing, NASA has not released the HIRIC image. Let's hope the shutdown ends soon. Let's entertain a bold idea. On August 15, 1977, Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope received a radio signal that stunned scientist Dr. Jerry Emin. It was a strong, narrowband signal at a very precise frequency close to the hydrogen line, a key target in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Emin circled it in red ink and wrote, "Wow!" Thus the WOW signal was born. It came from the direction of globular cluster M55 in Sagittarius, an ancient stellar environment where intelligent life could have had eons to evolve. Interestingly, the WOW signal's origin direction closely matches Atlas' trajectory, 4 degrees apart in right ascension, 8 in declination. The odds of such alignment between two random directions in the sky is just 0.6%. Could the WOW signal have been sent from Atlas or its home system? If so, perhaps it's okay we didn't respond. After all, space is vast. But in 2012, the National Geographic Channel tempted fate by broadcasting a reply to the WOW signal using the Arecibo Observatory 35 years later. And now, 13 years after that, an interstellar object named 3I Atlas arrives in the solar system. Coincidence? Some have commented that if Atlas were an alien spacecraft, it's too slow for interstellar travel. I agree, but we don't know whether Atlas slowed down upon entering the solar system. That's an unknown. Even if Atlas isn't an alien craft, based on all the observed anomalies, it's still a truly extraordinary comet. Certainly not, as some claim, just another ordinary space rock. Atlas keeps revealing its secrets. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next shocking discovery.